This podcast is brought to you by Udemy, a leading destination for learning professional skills. Need to train your employees with the latest tech and business skills? Try Udemy, an integrated learning solution trusted by companies like AT&T, NASDAQ, and Glassdoor. With thousands of business learners from around the world, the Udemy 2023 Workplace Learning Trends Report reveals the top skills in demand today. Visit business.udemy.com/trends and get the report now.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Stand by. The vacuum tubes are warming up. This is a special live broadcast right here on Georgia Radio.
Oh, sorry. I've got sidetracked here. It's Wade with Matt here on GeorgiaRadio.com with the Georgia Folk and Farm Life Tuesday night Georgia Folk and Farm Life radio show brought to you by Meeks Brothers Cattle Company.
Well, they got some good fine beef down there at Meeks Brothers. Let me tell you.
Ow.
Have you seen what they're doing now? I mean, now you can buy it just about at any size that you want.
Size, yes. They responded. That's one thing about a company, a family-run, local, small, company like them. They are in touch with their customers and they try to meet their needs. And so they've responded to people that wanted to buy in smaller amounts. And it's vacuum packed and sealed up. You can put it in the freezer and keep it there for 2 or 3 years, and it's still just as daggum good as it was the day it got there.
That's right. Well, and you know what, they do a great job.
Like me.
Just like you, Wade, people.
Like me. Yeah.
What's going on tonight? The holidays are in full swing. We're smack dab now in the Christmas season, and I've been playing Christmas music for you. I don't know if you heard the dedication I made to you the other night.
I missed that.
I know you love Christmas music.
Yeah, like my brother. We just love Christmas music.
Yeah. So
my brother gets angry. He's a Grinch when it comes to Christmas music.
We'll have to dedicate everything next week to Randall when we play all the
Randall
Christmas
Peebles,
songs. Yeah. Here's another one. For Randall Peebles.
Let's make Randall smile. Yes.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
No, we're playing a little bit of it here and there, but we're right in the middle of it. Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Was it all fun at your house?
Listen, had a great Thanksgiving. You know how I went to my sister's, and you invite people and you cook all that food, and something always goes wrong. The food, the turkey's raw, or
something happens.
The oven the breaker clicks off and you don't know it, and the oven's quit halfway through, or somebody says something stupid or embarrassing, or but it was great. All the food was wonderful, and nobody did anything untoward. It was very uneventful and pleasant. It really was. For our family, it was like unheard of.
Yeah. There wasn't any wrestling matches due to something somebody said.
Nobody slapped nobody. It was good.
Nobody left in a hurry.
Nobody threw a plate of food. Like my daddy did one time. My daddy was, I guess he'd had a drink that day, but we had family over. My mama's sister and her husband and the cousins were over. Mama made her famous chicken and dumplings. And Daddy tasted his, and he looked at Mama and said, "I don't eat Mr. Nobody's old gummy dumplings," and dumped his plate right over in hers. And
oh, gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, well, that just ruined the whole day for everybody,
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, if you haven't been to a Thanksgiving where somebody throws a plate, have you really even done Thanksgiving? You got to ask yourself that sometimes. What's the craziest Thanksgiving you've ever been to?
I really can't think of one. They've all been fairly uneventful. Even Christmas has been, pretty even keel, and even back when I drank, and we always, and other members of the family, we're on our best behavior on Christmas.
Oh, man. Well, I've been to some fun ones. I'm not going to lie. I've been to some really interesting Thanksgivings. Not so much Christmas, but Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Fun ones.
Well, people always are afraid that there's somebody that's going to come that doesn't have the same political views. Maybe they're liberal and then the family's conservative and their family's, or vice versa. And somebody's going to bring up politics and the presidential election or Congress or something, and it's going to ruin it. But we always able to talk about stuff like that and laugh about it.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. And every one of them that I've been to has always just been fun. But it's fun to see what different people do. And, traveling around, I've got a lot of friends that live all over the place, and it's been fun. One of the most memorable Thanksgivings we ever had was we went up to New York City, and
York City
at the invitation of my very dear friend, Mr. Nicholas DeChico. And if he's listening tonight, he knows exactly what I'm going to talk about.
Well, that's a New York name right there.
Oh, let me tell you, Nicky D, great guy. We went over to his Aunt Lorraine's house, and we had the most Italian, crazy Thanksgiving you've ever had. It was amazing. Really, really, truly was amazing. Right in the heart of the city. So there must have been 50 people in her tiny little apartment, and there was no room to stand. You had to get in like a Pez dispenser between the table and the sofa. We were in the living room on the fold-out table, and there were like 9 people on one side of the sofa and 9 people on the love seat, and it was packed in there. But we had a great time. Just a very, very memorable night.
New York makes me think about the Seinfeld episode where the Festivus.
Yeah, Festivus. For the rest of us, the airing of grievances.
The airing of grievances. How I can see we can incorporate.
Well, it was great, and Aunt Lorraine, God bless her, it was so much fun to get to talk to her, and we went to several that day, several of his aunts and uncles' houses, and of course, pasta is the first course at any Italian, meal, and they serve you so much pasta that you think, I can't eat anything else, and then the turkey comes out. And then all of the trimmings come, and somehow you find room. I don't know how it happens. Of course, they got to roll you out of there, but
part of Thanksgiving is
eating
too much and being miserable. And we did that. I was I was quite miserable, and but I didn't eat enough that to be sick or anything. But I did overdo it.
I didn't overdo it this year. We've had several Thanksgivings. We had one here in Georgia, and then we flew out west, and we had one there, and it was nice. It was nice out there. You can't. It's not Southern food. I don't want to say that, but
right.
It's just not the same. Not even that. This was California. Just not the same.
Oh, California.
Just not the same variety. They call it turkey, but it's made out of like God knows what. So, but no, it was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
What do they call it? Tofurkey or something? Ugly word here.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I didn't ask.
You have to bleep out I say it wrong.
But I'm looking forward to Christmas though. I'm ready. I am so ready for Christmas. It's just favorite time of the year.
Christmas. I was thinking I wrote this story a few years ago about the time. And, I've never been known to have good sense. That's one of my claims to fame is never having. I don't have good sense.
Well, if you read the laxative story today on Georgia Folk and Farm Life, then everybody listening knows that you don't have good sense. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Judy didn't see the humor in that story. No, why did you write that? It was funny. Well, you didn't exactly have. You'd have to take poetic license,
You gotta back up just a second because I read that and I spit my coffee out. I was laughing so hard this morning. Seriously, one of the funniest things you've written in a while about you felt the need to take a laxative
for the first time in my life. I was probably 20-something, 30 years old, and I never had a laxative. And, I didn't want, I was afraid of them. I know people have these horror stories about laxatives. So I asked my wife for one of those little tiny pills they take. I said they take them about a handful, but she didn't really take them about a handful. But they take them, women take them all the time. So it said, it works gently while you sleep, but that's not good if you really think about
a female laxative.
Yeah, I thought it was, sweet and kind and comfy. It was like a warm blanket around you, and you gently be relieved. But there was nothing gentle about it. Like I said,
like a thunderstorm in the night.
Chitlin at a gut slinging contest.
Well,
it was terrible.
Yeah. So anyway, you were saying about Christmas. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
Well, this story is back there in the archives in Georgia Folk and Farm Life. But one year, our house had a cathedral ceiling and beams across it. You know, it had tall ceiling. It was one big stone fireplace, beautiful room, living room and kitchen, dining area together.
Oh, there's Brian. He's right on time. Yeah, he's right on time. Just put him on the phone.
Hello. Hey. What you don't know, I sarcastically sent Brian a text this afternoon. I said, "Are you going to call during the radio show?" And he said, "Probably." You know, so yeah. Hey,
there
Brian.
He is.
Hey, what's the topic?
We're just jawing about Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I have no idea about.
Yeah.
Do what?
I said, what kind of topic are y'all discussing that I probably have no idea about? That's like talking about politics. I have no idea, but I'm going to express my opinion.
Yeah, well, that has nothing. Listen, good Georgia country folks don't have to have any knowledge to express an opinion.
Oh, no. None at all.
It's not a.
Just right. I believe that was the east wind right there.
Yep.
That didn't even come from the east, dude.
There you go.
Love it.
All right. We got to tell Brian to call my number from now on so we can put him on the air. You know.
Yeah.
Y'all, man. Have a good night.
We love you.
Love you, buddy.
Bye.
That's Brian's weekly call. He always forgets that you're on the radio.
He does, and that like tonight that was a setup tonight because I did taunt him this afternoon about
to call you. Of course, he's going to call you.
Yeah, I said you're not going to call the radio show tonight, are you? Yeah, probably.
I'll probably do it.
So yeah. Brian's a great guy.
He is a great guy. Got a good son too, and he's
what a great thing.
An ordained minister now.
Yes, after 2 weeks he's been ordained, and he's great.
All right,
got a great future.
You got to finish. You got to finish the Christmas story in the last 4 minutes of this segment.
And Conway is gnawing at my hand, want me to scratch his head, so I'm having to do 40 things here. But anyway, so we had we would always get a decent size Christmas tree. Well, Judy and Carl was young, and we went to a Boggy Gut Christmas tree farm, and we went out there, and they had a nice selection of trees, and one old tree by itself over there that was from the area that had been cut over a few years before, and it was one tree that didn't sell for some reason that season, and it had just left to grow, and I like the where there's light shine from heaven down on it, and it's got a halo. I said, this is a perfect tree, and it was huge. This like loggers would bite that tree, Yeah. And I said, Judy, look at that tree. That's too big. We don't need a tree. Yes, we do. It's the perfect tree. I was like Peter Griffin or something, on the Family Guy.
You were taken with the tree. It was that tree, or you were going to set it up outside if you had to.
So the guy tried to talk me out of it. He said, you don't want that tree. It's too big. No, it's not. Well, I'm there. At the time, I had a Nissan extended cab 4-wheel drive pickup.
Oh, gosh. No, wait a minute. I think I remember this story, but keep going. Keep going.
Well, I insisted, Judy, the whole time, you're an idiot. We don't need that tree. It's too big. It's half as big as that. No, it's perfect. I was just enthralled with this tree, and I got the guy. He had to get a bigger chainsaw than the one he was using, and cut it down.
This is a serious tree.
They tried to push it to that big sewer pipe thing that has a net on the end, and like a giant condom, and they pulled up, and it got stuck in there. It was too big, and they got it back out. Well, it was dinged up, but I still was enamored of it, and I said, it'll do, don't worry. So we tie it to my truck, and we look like a family of gypsies moving, on a Sunday afternoon after rent been due for 2 months.
Oh, my gosh.
Seriously. I had to ride with my head out the window to see. This tree was so huge. We looked like a giant Christmas tree on wheels going down the road.
Going down the road.
So we bring it home, and at the house, I had closed in the screen porch, and it was full of antiques and collectibles. It was a beautiful room and sunroom, and you had to go in and then take a hard lift to go in the living room, and we had to remove about all the contents of the breakable stuff, and it took us. We snatched it on that tree and got it in, and it was so big it was tearing up the door jam. We had to put staple cardboard to the door jams to make it flow easier.
I cannot imagine why Judy divorced you.
No, well, this had a lot to do with it. And so we got it in the house, and I had bought the biggest Christmas tree stand that could be had and put it in it, and it just warped it and bent it over. So I had to put it in a 5-gallon bucket, and I had to take a log chain and wrap around it and use fence staples to nag it to the wall. And it was still leaning. And we just had to go back down and buy like 12 more sets of lights and more, because we didn't have. We had years worth of lights and ornaments and stuff that we accumulated, but it was like maybe for a third of that tree. The rest was naked. Right. So we finally got it, and it was you couldn't get under there to put water in it, and it died soon enough, well before Christmas. And those ads, public safety announcements about, oh yeah, it was a fire hazard. Well, Christmas came and went, and we had red and black shag carpet in that room, and it was getting needles everywhere. And so finally it was well after Christmas, and it was still there,
dead.
One of y'all got to go, you, that tree, or you. So on a Sunday, I'm not making this up, I said, you and Carl go to your daddy's house and spend the day. I'll get rid of the tree. And so when they left, I'm just standing there like, there's no way. It was too stiff.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This podcast is brought to you by Udemy, a leading destination for learning and teaching online. Need to learn professional skills for your career? Join millions of people learning the latest skills in business and tech on Udemy. Udemy has helped learners around the world launch new careers, advance in their current field, and earn money on the side. Visit udemy.com and find the course for you.
It only happens once a year. JCPenney's cyber deals are back in store and at jcp.com. Through Wednesday, fill your cart with deals like Yes Please diamonds and gemstones, now $19.99 each. Or use your coupon inside the JCP app to save up to 50% on small appliances and cookware from top brands like Keurig, Cuisinart, Calphalon, and more. We got your holiday. JCPenney offers good on select items through 11/30. Exclusions apply. Jewelry excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
It was rigor mortis had set in. This tree wouldn't bend, it wouldn't give, and it wouldn't go back out the way it came.
Yeah.
So I opened all the windows, got my chainsaw.
No, you didn't.
And laid down old bed sheets and drug it over the middle of the room, and I cut it up and threw it out the window piece by piece.
With the logging
and even
chain.
though I put down 2 king-size bed sheets, they were still half the. And that's why in the divorce settlement, I had to pay for new carpet and floor covering in that room
because of the tree. Well, I think you got a deal. Don't tell Judy that. She's probably listening right now. But anyhow,
it sure was pretty though while it lasted.
You and Miss Judy are still very close friends. And
yes, we are. Yeah,
your wife emeritus. But Judy, nobody blames you.
She's a saint.
Yeah,
she's a saint. Yes,
nobody blames you. I can't believe you cut it down. How did you not smoke out the house with?
Oh, it was full of smoke. Yes, the house.
And chain.
But it was a cool, breezy day, and I opened all the windows and had to take the window screens off. And when I threw it all out. When I got outside, I'm like, this is a whole load of pulpwood. This
It's a load of pulpwood. All right. Well, one of the best decisions you've ever done in your life is get to know Steve Meeks. And we probably ought to take a quick commercial break and then come back and finish your show. How about that?
Yep. Sounds like a winner to me. Hi, this is Wade Peebles from Georgia Folk and Farm Life Radio. I'm here to tell you about Meeks Brothers Cattle Company. And you don't have to worry about supply chain issues or where your beef comes from. Do what I do and call Meeks Brothers Cattle Company today. You can get a whole half, a quarter, any amount of beef you want. Good quality beef. Vacuum packed, lasts up to 3 years in your freezer. It's grass-fed, grain-finished, made to order. Visit Meeks Brothers Cattle Company on Facebook today and tell them Brother Wade sent you. And that's Meeks Brothers Cattle Company. Thank you.
I know you can hear me, and so can your customers. Lots of people don't take kids seriously, but listen up. Advertising on Georgia Radio is seriously easy and affordable. Visit georgiaradio.com/advertise, or better yet, call the station. So let's talk. Your customers are listening, and so is my mom. Hi, Mom.
Georgia Radio. Good company and great country.
You know, enjoying the country music.
Well, here we are, back again from the break of the show, and we're having a good time. Matt and I talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Your big old Christmas tree. Conway's attacking you right now, too. We got to release the video version of this podcast so people can see Conway and what he's doing.
And y'all get to see me in my Walmart clothes.
Yeah, you got your Georgia Folk and Farm Life shirt on. Hey, if people want to get that for Christmas, how can they do it? How can they?
Once we have it, they get them from Brian and Crystal Sparks. They have to order them from them and message Crystal or BC Sparks. I think this is the way it's listed. But I'll put that up there.
Yeah, you ought to.
We've got hats left and shirts, and we'll make a new batch for the gathering coming up on March 11th, and that's going to be great. We'll talk about that for a minute.
You got to get before that too. January 28th, our old time radio hour.
Oh yes,
you can do that. Yeah, up in Griffin for the folks up north. If you live north of Atlanta or just right there in the mid-state, come to that one January 28th. Is Sister Connie going to be able? I've been wanting to ask you about that. Is Sister Connie going to be able to come? Do we know
to the old time radio hour?
Yeah,
I don't know. I hadn't asked her.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. She will be there for doing the music at the March 11th.
March 11th gathering. Yeah.
And we're going to have a great time. That's going to be the annual Georgia Folk and Farm Life Facebook group gathering in conjunction with my 15-year sobriety birthday, which is March the 10th. So that's on Friday, the following day on the 11th at New Beginnings in Christ in Garfield. We're going to have a gathering, and we're going to have a good time. It's going to be a great event. We're going to have a good time with that.
I'm looking forward to it. March the 11th. Going to be fun.
Also, if you didn't see, I posted this week about a need at New Beginnings in Christ. They've been built. All the men build all the buildings and do everything at New Beginnings in Christ. They don't hire contractors. Everything that's ever been built there is built by the guys in the program. And God always sends. Don Laxton, who and his wife Joanna founded the program, and Don passed on in December of last year. But he was a great friend, a great mentor. Used to, when I helped run the program years ago, we never asked the men when they came to be interviewed about coming. We didn't ask them usually what they did for a living, because it was fun. You can have fun with God. You can.
Yeah.
God makes things fun. So we would have fun, just step back, and every time we needed, if we needed a brick mason, how many brick masons are there anymore? You don't see them, not many. If we need a brick mason, we didn't have to ask guys, are you a brick mason? Are you a brick mason? A brick mason would apply to come to the program that would be battling addiction and needing help. That we would allow them into the program, then we'd find out, here's the heat and air man we need, here's the brick mason we need, here's the plumber, here's the carpenter, here's the electrician, here's the welder, whatever we needed, God would send them. And I saw that happen so many times that it was kind of we would just purposely not ask them, and then just get so much joy when we find out that God had come through once again and sent the right guy. He always sends the right people.
I would agree with that, hands down. And what a great place to get involved in.
Well, what I was saying,
go down there.
They're building the children's church, which is adjacent to the chapel, and there's an apartment upstairs for a staff member that will be living there, and the chapel downstairs, and more restrooms, which is needed for the church. And that building is closed in, it's finished on the outside, but inside is not. So I asked the members of the group to donate, and that information is on in the featured section of Georgia Folk and Farm Life. And already, I mean, I haven't received, been to the post office. Hadn't had time. I think it was Sunday when I posted that. So in the next few days, I'm just going to go say there's going to be an overwhelming response of our members giving to New Beginnings in Christ. And again, they will in March we will do a fundraiser as ask people to donate who can, and because they always open it up to us. If we need to use their facilities, they do it, and they don't charge. They won't take any money, and they help cook food, serve the food. Do all waiting on it's they take care of us, and they've done that to me. They've never told me no about anything I ask of that ministry. If I need a ride, if I'm in Savannah and my log truck breaks down, who do you think I call? New Beginnings and says, look, Wendell, Mike, whoever, I'm broke down here, somebody's on the way. Wow. They send somebody after me. If I need anything, they do that. Whatever, they've never told me no, and that's such a God-blessed place and a bunch of people.
Yeah. You can just tell when you're down there, the work that they do.
It is. It's amazing. So if you could come to the gathering, I promise you will have a good time.
Yeah.
I got an invitation today from my neighbor, I'll say Randy and Robin Kennedy. They're great people. They just saw the earth, just wonderful people. And Randy invited me to go to his wife's family reunion down in Tattnall County at Jones Lake at the old gristmill facility there. And Saturday, I don't know if I'll be able to go, but if I can, I'm going to try to make that happen. I'm not much on going anywhere, that.
Stop right there now. Don't lead these people on now. You have. Are you going to go or not?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Scheduled for Saturday. I don't know.
You had something scheduled for Saturday. Is that what you said?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if I can get out of it, I'm gonna go. Y'all can't see Matt's face. He looks so skeptical, like you ain't going nowhere. And I am. I'm a hermit, a homebody, and Matt knows that. It's hard to get me out.
You told CB Adams, our buddy Chris Adams, that the other day. You said, "Oh, I didn't know it was that day. I did
not know that it was even coming up. I didn't." Mm-hmm. Adams, I didn't. In the past, he's invited me, but he didn't. If he told me it was coming up, I didn't catch that.
You didn't, yeah. Well, okay.
I promise you.
I hope we see you down. We're going to see you down there.
Chris Adams, Chris Turtleman. He's on Facebook as CV because he had to change. He used to be Chris Adams Turtleman, but he had to change it to whatever. He probably got hacked or whatever a few years ago. But anyway, Chris. So
you're going to be there on Saturday. You're going to take some pictures.
I don't know.
And you're going to send them to us.
Yeah, I'm going to invade somebody's family reunion because I'm not.
Should.
They might not even. They might run me off.
I bet they have some good eats.
I knew a guy that used to go. He'd go over to George L. Smith Park sometimes. Him and a buddy of his, and when they would see one of these family reunions in those screen enclosures with the picnic tables just rent. People have events. We had my 10-year sobriety birthday there. Brian Sparks and them surprised me with that, and they would go there and just ride through. And if they saw a family reunion or whatever dinner, they would just stop and walk in, and nobody's going to challenge you and say, well, who are you? What are you doing here? They think, well, that must be, I don't know them, but they must be part of the family or whatever. And they would eat and visit and leave, and they would get a great meal, that way.
And a T-shirt a lot of times, too. You go to a Southern family reunion, you're going to get a T-shirt.
So what size you want?
Yeah.
What size?
Hello, cousin. So good to see you.
And they say, around here, when I was younger, people would say couldn't. Daddy would say cousin Talmadge or cousin so-and-so. He'd never say cousin. Did they have that in Texas?
No. Everybody's related. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. They weren't cousins.
No.
Yeah,
just cousins.
Georgia word.
Yeah. Put a Z in it, though. Cousins. The Texas, cousins.
C-U-D-D-A-N, cousin so-and-so.
There's a staccato to the speech down there that you don't have here. Everything's a little slower.
You say that word to somebody around here, they'll cut you.
Yeah, well, it's true. The speech.
Staccato.
There's a
you
staccato.
Cussing me, you two. My mama used to say, if you cussing me, you two of them.
Yeah, and don't say that down at Ricky Hooks.
Don't be saying staccato too much around here.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I could hurt you if I find out.
Yeah. There you go.
Which makes me, I don't know why, it reminds me of if any of you ever read Shepherd of the Hills, it was set in the Ozark Mountains. That was a famous book in the early 1900s. It outsold the Bible during a short time, and it was the best-selling book. And my sister Connie, they had the Shepherd of the Hills outdoor drama out there at Branson, and on the actual farm that old Matt and Aunt Molly lived on, with their old log house, everything is part of the set of the outdoor theater. My sister Connie played. She's an actress too, and she's done some great things. But she played Aunt Molly in that outdoor drama for several seasons. And one of my favorite lines in the book and in the story was this: so it was set in the late 1800s, or early 1900s rather, in the Ozark Mountains, and this local boy that most everybody was poor. This one bloke, but his daddy had money. I don't remember what business, but he had a little money, and he bought him an automobile that was when they were first came out, like 1904, and it was an open car. But it was a big old guy. He was a big old knocker, as they say, and he was the bull of the woods up there on that mountain. And they both were sweet on the same gal. And that little prissy little boy that had the car, they ran up together on Mountain Road. Old big guy was on his mule, and they got off, and he was a towering big guy. This was, and that little dandy little prissy dude in the car, and they had words. And the little guy pulled out a derringer and pointed it at him. The old big guy just reached over there and took it and threw it off as far as he could off the mountainside. He said, "Boy, I just done you a favor. If you ever shot me with that little pop gun and I ever found out about it, I'd have whooped your butt."
Should never shot me with that little pop gun.
And if I ever found out about it,
yeah,
like he might not even be aware that he'd been shot with a little gun that small.
Yeah.
I don't know what made me think of that. That was a good. If you've never read Shepherd of the Hills, get the book and read it. It's a great story behind it. The man that wrote it was a preacher in Chicago, and he had bad health, and his doctor sent him down to the Ozarks for his health, and he stayed on that farm and rented a little cabin from those people, old Matt and Aunt Molly. He spent a summer there, and he wrote that story when he went back home.
Wow.
The Shepherd of the Hills. So get that book, Shepherd of the Hills.
Good stuff. All right.
Yep.
Next week, you had a great guest 2 weeks ago. And we took last week off for Thanksgiving. What do we have next
Clayton
week?
Hackle.
Yeah, Clayton Hackle.
I don't know. I hadn't decided. We've got several people on the back burner that I need to talk to. And
Brian Sparks is going to be on, though. We know that.
That will be a special guest appearance here.
Yeah. There you go. We need to have Faye back on.
We do need to have. That would be a great.
Yeah.
Faye would be.
We got to check in with Miss Faye before Christmas. So.
We will.
All right.
All right. I'll talk to her.
All right.
Listen, I love y'all, and I've enjoyed tonight's show, and we hope y'all have too. Join us every Tuesday night, 7:30 to 8. And we're on the podcast on GeorgiaRadio.com. Get the My Georgia Radio app on your phone. Listen to classic, wonderful, old school country music 24/7. Matt, me, others, a lot of good stuff. Check us out. Love y'all. Thank you.
Georgia Radio. Good company and great country.
Enjoying the country music.
It only happens once a year. JCPenney's cyber deals are back in store and at jcp.com. Through Wednesday, fill your cart with deals like Yes Please diamonds and gemstones, now $19.99 each. Or use your coupon inside the JCP app to save up to 50% on small appliances and cookware from top brands like Keurig, Cuisinart, Calphalon, and more. We got your holiday. JCPenney offers good on select items through 11/30. Exclusions apply. Jewelry excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
Where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.